This is broad scale depression. This is broad scale numbing out. This is trauma. The human population is now sinking into trauma. We are going into shock. And as we go into shock and we sink deeper and deeper as a people, as a species, every day, the chances of us doing anything about this to rebel go down. Why? Because of learned helplessness. The more depressed and demoralized you are, the less likely you are to move. This is biological. This is mammalian. You don't even have to do it very long to somebody. You just give them conflicting information, cause them to believe that they're the source of their pain, cause them to believe perhaps even that their loved ones and their community are their own enemies, tell them things that aren't true, force them to repeat things that aren't true, communism writ small, force people to lie, force people to do things that they know are not right. And their spirits will break. Because what is a person going to feel about themselves? What are the people at YouTube who are enforcing these preposterous, anti-scientific censorship rules? They know it's wrong. There's just simply no way that the majority, and I stand by this, the majority of people working at just YouTube will know that this is wrong now. They know it's wrong. They know it's wrong. We all know it's wrong. We all know in our hearts this isn't right. This isn't like, do you believe in the V or you don't believe in the V? That's not about that. I'm talking about propaganda. I'm talking about mentally. I'm talking about psychologically. I'm talking about the suppression of information and the coercion of information and the installation of spin and agenda into the simple discussion of scientific truths. It's gone. And it's being enforced right here on this platform. And I claim the CEOs know, the employees know, everybody throughout the entire pyramid knows to some degree that this is wrong. And yet they are doing it anyway. We all know that this ain't right. It doesn't matter. It's not a left-right argument. It's not a black-white argument. It's not a do you V or do you not V argument. It's not that. We all know you don't suppress opposing voices. Not in a modern liberal democracy. We all know this. We've all been alive long enough to know this. You could be 20 years old. You could be a kid and you know this because you've always lived it up until 2 years ago. So if you're 20 today, up until you were 18 years old, you lived in a modern first world liberal democracy, imperfect, corrupt, capable of evil, capable of genocide, capable of unjustified wars in foreign lands to steal natural resources. Yes, 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 I admit it openly, freely. But you still knew you were living in a first world, modern, liberal democracy up until the suppression of information began and became broad scale, became hyper normalized. People on YouTube just accept it. Everybody just accepts it. The employees at YouTube accept it. The content creators at YouTube accept it. It is wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. You have to let people speak. You have to let people speak. If it's true, if it could be true, if it might be true, if there's scientific evidence that indicates the possibility that it may be a thing and you suppress it, you are guilty of evil. This is evil, pure evil. There's no excuse for it. There's no moral ambiguity here. So don't do it. Stop. Stop. Don't do it. Rebel. The greater the crime that you're being asked to commit in the name of something, then the harder you must rebel. The greater the sin that you're being asked to do in the name of some agenda, then the more courageous you have to be in your rebellion. Yes, it will suck. Yes, you will be punished. Yes, you might lose your job. Yes, you might lose your position. Yes, people may turn against you. But my God, if we don't try, where are we going? Where are we going? What's at the end of this road? We start here with propaganda and the suppression of scientific data. We pretend that there's one science. Where? Show me the field of science where there is completely unified universal agreement on any subject. Take the most certain, fixed, this is absolutely the way it's been for 100 years subject. I'll show you dissenting voices. Are they not doing science? Is dissent anti-scientific now? Is up down and left right? Is obedience strength? Well, what are we doing? You can't suppress opposing voices because they don't suit a pre-existing narrative and claim that you're not engaged in propagandizing people. You cannot claim that this is a platform for freedom of speech anymore. You can't. But it could be. It could be. But we must step over the platform. We must get up and do something. Our challenge now is not to get in a recently made, hastily put together, sorry, not hastily put together, hastily designed plane, as my grandfather did. Well, one of my grandfathers did, and then go and fly in the sky and shoot at your opponents in the air and hope you don't die that way, which you probably would because it's pretty dangerous. Firing machine guns at each other in the air. My other grandfather, who was in the parachute regiment, he would fly up in the hastily designed plane and then jump out the fucker to go and fight hand to hand. One grandfather was against the Japanese, the other grandfather fought against the Germans. And what happened to him? He was in a slip trench one day and a mortar hit him in the head. It didn't go off next to him. It conked him in the head and it didn't go off. And it went bonk off his head and then cut his arm off. And he survived. He went on to be a beloved school teacher and a headmaster. Very, very popular guy. I knew him for years. Great guy. And my other grandfather went on to be a director of chemical engineering at Unilever. These are not our challenges, folks. This is not our bravery. This is not our bravery. We don't need to do anything that dramatic or film-worthy. We just have to stop complying. We just have to stop complying and stop lying. Stop saying things you know are not true. Stop joining in to suppress dissenting voices. Stop indulging in this masturbatory, narcissistic mass psychosis of ganging up on people, rounding on people and scapegoating them and attacking them just to shame them into silence. How do any of you who do that imagine for a second that that is a worthy and righteous thing to do? Where is your morality? Where is your shame? Where's your humanity? And what do you think is in it for you? Like, if you help by doing that, what's your fantasy? That you'll be rewarded on the other side? What will your reward look like? What do you think is coming? I assure you, comrades, it's nothing good for anyone. For anyone. It will be bad across the board. So don't do it. The greater the sin you've been asked to commit, the stronger your rebellion must be. The greater the crime you've been asked to do in the name of some agenda, whatever the agenda is, the greater the courage you have to have. We don't have to jump out of planes. We don't have to fire machine guns at other people in planes or jump out of trenches or parachute behind them. We don't have to do that. That's not our challenge. But we're so depressed and so disconnected from each other and so disconnected from life. We don't even have the strength to just say no. And that's all it is. That's all it is. If everybody just says no, it's over. It's over instantly. Just say no. No, we're not doing that. We're not playing this game anymore. But it must be, if not everybody, a critical mass of people. Maybe, I don't know. This is not my thing. But like, let's say in a given population, 70% start just saying no. They say, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to join in with the suppression of information and the suppression of evidence. I'm not going to work at YouTube and help them to downvote, shadow ban, or outright ban videos that are exploring scientifically in a cold, calm, dry, sober way other options of response to the threat that faces us right now. Nobody should be doing that and then going home and sleeping like a baby. Nobody should be doing that and then going home and using the salary they earned to do that, to buy food from Uber Eats and to watch Netflix. But they are, and they should stop. They should simply stop, because it is wrong. We have the ability to do something. Yes, learned helplessness is a powerful force. As I said, it's mammalian, it's biological. Once you're in the grip of that learned helplessness, you're numb, you're traumatized, you're in shock. You're like, I don't know what to think. I'm terrified, I'm confused, I'm angry. I get it. I get it. I get it. I really do. You have my sympathy. You have my compassion. We have to fight. We have to fight. We have to fight. Otherwise, there won't be a world left worth fighting for. And there won't be people in it to be able to fight. And it'll all be done. It'll all be over. You must push back.